Buses. As part of the 26.9 million kids who rode the bus from kindergarten to 12th grade, I actually liked the bus. Now look, apart from the taped up seats with marked names or symbols, the never clean gum floored or always sweat stained windows, actually the bus doesn't seem that good. But it was okay, alright? I remember getting up early by my parents by force and being dragged onto the streets for the bus stops. I didn't like it, and I'm pretty sure everyone else didn't like it either. But it wasn't just the fact that I got up early that made me mad. It was the weather. Where I lived, our falls and winters get freaking cold in the morning. The afternoons were nice though. And if you had one of those old buses, they don't have those good heaters, so most of the bus rides are cold. Except for the new ones, which actually feels nice with the heater on. The opposites are also true in the spring and summer. It feels nice in the morning when you get that morning breeze smell and the gentle wind hitting you when you wait for the bus. But when you get off the bus in the afternoon, it feels like a heat wave just hits you. And you die. Some days, I hate waiting on the buses when it rains. Being soaked and still waiting on the bus is not always a good way to start a day. I don't know about you guys, but in my high school, we didn't have much protection on the bus lot. So when the bus comes, it's sort of like this. Especially in my bus. Alright, let's do this. Out of my way! Now I want to be as dry as possible, so I have to be in the bus as fast as possible. But it's counterintuitive when a lot of people are bumping into you and squeeze themselves, making you more wet. But it's all worth it when you get that spot on the bus. Finally, got in. Now I can be warm. Wait, this is no bus. Bruh. Something important about the buses were the drivers. I'm sure most of us don't care about them. Understandable, they hate us when we get to high school. But I think the bus drivers are overlooked and should be thought about once in a while. They are nice people. They make sure we are safe. But the most important thing, they are on time. I like to know when the bus gets here so I can know what to do beforehand and maximize my sleep time. I don't like it when I get up normally to go to my bus route and see a bus with a new driver drives off without me. You get back here, you little. Having a sub driver may or may not break your morning or afternoon. I remember one December morning, it was cold, but I knew when I get to the bus stop, the bus should be there. But after 10 minutes of waiting, everyone gets fed up. I was still there. My cousins, who I lived with at the time, told me that they will go to school in a truck. I didn't go because the truck they had always doesn't work, so I take my chances on the bus. 10 more minutes and I was freezing, and the winds hitting my face weren't helping. Half the kids left, but I was determined. Plus my legs were frozen in place. But at 10 more minutes, the bus finally came. Only another person besides me was still there. I was relieved. Finally. Bruh. One weird but fun thing about drivers is that they don't seem to care about the speed limits. When I sit down and expect a smooth ride, the driver thinks he is Dominic Toretto and drives like he's street racing. You might think I was scared, but it felt cool. Until we crashed. Another thing I noticed is that they drive in reverse. By that I mean is that they start at the last stop, but end in the first stop. Now for most years, I was the first few stops, but when the driver pulls that Uno reverse card, I get up to see the seats full and have to sit on the side of somebody who I don't know and feel awkward with. Ugh, I hate this. But at least this is a new bus. Bus drivers don't get paid enough for our behavior as they deal with children and teenagers every day. There's actually a Bus Driver Appreciation Day, and it's February 22nd. Which just passed. Whoops. But the most important thing about the bus is the seats. Like I said before, I always had first dibs to get the seats in the morning, so I was always happy to take the front seats next to the window. Now, I'm a shy, introverted kid who doesn't want to try to talk to anyone, so I always get my headphones and start to look out and wait till we're at the bus. But sometimes, I don't get first class, so I have to hope to see any empty seats when we get on. But if not, I have to muster up courage to sit next to a person and hope they don't judge me sitting next to them. Now in the afternoons, this isn't a problem since I had a lot more luck to get on the buses before everyone else. But when I got back to the buses after 10th grade after a year riding with my mom, I had to literally race to get calls to the seats. Our bus, for some reasons, always fills up, and some of us don't get to even ride the bus. But I always hated when the kids were always loud, annoying, and people throwing things. But I got through it. Now in the mornings, especially in my high school life, I was tired. A lot. So I would sleep on the bus so I can get some rest. But then there was one day where I was sleeping and woke up to see that we made it to school and everyone was getting off. But I also see them looking at me and chuckling. Wow, I just wanted to die. There was a time where we had a sub-driver and he missed our stop. Me and my sister saw it, but we didn't say anything because we were just kids and thought that the adults knew what they were doing. It's his job. But when he finished, he saw that we, with another kid, was still left. He dropped the other kid since he did miss the stop, but for some reason he thought that we got into the wrong bus. I'm pretty sure he just didn't see it on his paper, but he got angry and parked at a high school. We got off and went to the principal's office, and she got mad at us. Oh yeah, of course we went to the wrong bus. Just because we wanted to prank the driver. We actually did get in the wrong bus. Oh, we did get in the wrong bus? Whoops! My mom wasn't happy, but I wasn't yelled. My brother was, for telling us the wrong new bus information. There was one time where I was late to the bus lot, as they said the last call for the bus. So I tried to go all beast mode and ran as my chubby legs would go, and I made it to the bus. But as I was about to get on, the door closed on my legs, my arm, and a part of my front face. It didn't hurt, but my 11-year-old thought I was going to get dragged as the bus drives off, and he didn't notice. But then he opened the door. So there were these white and blue buses called activity buses, not bound to the county schools, so they could travel everywhere. I don't know why, but every time I get into one, they always have these steel shelves on top of the seats, and every time I get up, I always get hit. Something to know about me. All in all, I love riding the buses, besides the horrible atmosphere in the old buses. It made a great place to rest, do my homework before I went to school, and talk to my friends before class started. To all the people who hated the bus, you're probably right. You may have bad kids who bully you, or the bus was very terrible. There was one time a kid puked on the bus, and we had to wait for a new bus to take us to our secondary school. So that was fun. But I have to say, my experience with the school bus was pretty great. I don't know about the city bus because I never got into one, so I'm not going to talk about it until I do. But I'm not sure if I want to. Where I live, we have a problem with panhandlers getting to the buses and asking for money, and some having bad odor, as far as my coworker who rides the bus to get to work tells me. Plus, I have my own car, so I will never need to get on the bus.